Okay.
I didn't see how big it was, but we're gonna find out.
It looks decently sized.
It might take me 20 minutes then. I'm live right now. Welcome, people. It is I, Crobus136, with Dota 2 patch 7.41c. We're gonna go fast because I want to play some games off stream, but in general. Mechanics.
Looks like just like a quick scroll through. It looks like there's a lot of changes, like every single, not a lot of changes.
A lot of things that they're
small changes to almost every hero.
Units with flying vision no longer ignore vision restrictions over Sean's pit. They can no longer see into them from outside and vice versa. So there was an exception where flying units could see. They just changed it. There's a lot of things it affects. It's just a nerf. It makes Sean's pit easier to do Roche secretly or whatever. Tormentor Alleviation. That's its passive increasing. Max health regen increased from 2 to 2.25%. And the duration increased from 10 to 15. So basically, the Tormentor heals back faster, is what it seems to be. I'm going to double check that real quick and just see what the ability is called. Alleviation, just so I know. Oh, I know, Alleviation is what heals you. That's what it is. It's the on-death effect. When it dies, I'll put this over, by the way. When it dies, it gives a heal effect. The heal now heals more and longer. Cool. Items. Bloodstone. The health bonus increased by 25. It's minor. The cooldown on Blood Pact, which is this increased lifesteal, went up by 5, so it's up less often. And the spell weakness aura, which means that when you're near someone with a bloodstone, you take 10% increased damage to yourself from spells, went from 12 down to 10, which is a nerf. So it's a small buff on the health, but then 2 nerfs. I never see bloodstone get bought, so I don't know if that matters. Swiftness Aura, which is the passive component of Boots of Bearing, that increases movement speed to you and your allies, went down by 5 movement speed. It's a nerf. Krella's Crozier, which I believe is how you pronounce that, or Crozier. It's an upgraded Ghost Scepter.
I've never seen this item.
I've never seen it been bought. You enter Ghost form. The movement speed steal went up by 1. You steal a movement speed from enemy heroes. It's one of its effects. It just went up. Just more speed. Dispersers, slow, lasts 1 second less. It's actually slow or speed up. It's both. Because it's the same buff that makes you faster with Disperser. So it's nerfed it by 1 second. Definitely needed. Essence Distiller. Maybe it's a buff because it sucks. Soul Release Radius from ground target increased by 50. I mean, that's kind of doesn't really matter so much. But I guess it's easier to attach to Invis heroes. It's easier to have area denial for like a Ricky or a Bounty Hunter or something. Harpoon. Draw Forth can no longer move the Harpoon caster when rooted or leashed. So if you're leashed and then you harpoon someone, you don't move. The target is still moved for the unchanged distance in this case. However, a tree cast won't have any effect. Still affects rooted, leashed, and bound targets, meaning you can still pull somebody to you if they're leashed. It's definitely a nerf, but it's a needed nerf. It's weird that it didn't work like that. Hard Trask went up by 100, whatever. Mage Slayer's damage per second went down by 5, that's fine. Silver Edge, the bonus movement speed for being invis went down by 3, and the cooldown went up by 2, that's a big nerf. The attack speed reduction on Shivas, just as an AoE, went down by 5, so it's a nerf. Soul Ring has a longer cooldown of 5, making it essentially useless, kind of. And Specialist Array gained 3 agility, just making Sniper even better. Overall, Bloodstone's whatever, Boots are whatever. Disperser's an actual nerf. Harpoon's a real nerf and needed. I don't know. I guess Silver Edge nerf is needed too. That's about it though. Neutral items. They just changed some of the numbers as far as like the in penalty on crude, the max bonus of GPM. No, mana bonus. Max mana bonus went down on greedy, and tough has less damage. Minor changes. Abaddon. He got 1 base int. It just means he can cast better, but essentially it's whatever. I don't care about talents that don't seem to be anything but small numbers. I'm not going to pay attention to them. Just so I can make this short. Grievalry. Bonus base and max extra gold per melted scepter decreased from 6 to 3. It means that he farms way worse once he's melted his scepter down. That's a severe nerf. Acid Spray's cooldown is now always at 2nd level, which means it doesn't scale down on its 3rd or 4th. So that's actually nice because it's up less. Bonus health on his ult now starts lower and has to scale up to its current value, which means he's actually weaker at 6, which is super cool, by the way. Definitely needed, just for reference. AA. Ice Blast. The path radius increased from 275 to 300. That means when it's running but hasn't exploded yet, it's more likely to touch you. The base area of effect radius, that means when it does explode, but like short distance, went up by 25, so it's more likely to hit you. That's nice. Anti-Mage, it's slow. The minimum mana threshold for slow improved from 50 to 60, meaning before, if you were above 50% mana, you weren't slowed at all. Now it's if you're 60, which means he'll start slowing you earlier as you're losing mana. Arc Warden, who's already broken, gained 2 base agility, which also increases his damage, and attack speed and armor, so that's gross. Hate that. Bane's, that's a mana cost thing. It looks so minor. Who cares? Batrider lost 10 movement speed. This is like the 2nd time he's been hit with movement speed, if I recall correctly. Sticky Napalm does 5% less damage to towers, the axe. That's a big nerf. Firefly's damage per second is less at all levels. 5, 10, 15, 20. It's huge. And ult has less damage at all levels, too. So they just absolutely dumpstered Batrider. Beastmaster lost the strength. Nice. His wild axes are always max mana cost. Nice. Lowered the early damage of Razorback Boar. Nice. Decreased the radius of Drums of Slong. Nice. Decreased the damage of Drums of Slong. Nice. Fuck Beastmaster. Am I right, Rocket?
I was double muted. Yeah.
Yeah. Bounty Hunter. Rocket's in the Discord call. Does it mana cost? Don't care.
I am.
Shadow Walk. The movement speed got buffed at early levels. Yeah. Cancel split. So you start ulting, but you want to cancel the split. Now as a 3-second initial cooldown. Or can you early cancel split? So the early canceling of split, you can't do it right away. You can't do like weird shifting things. It's whatever. That sounds minor. That I know of. I don't really know the hero like that. The damage per stack on Warpath for Bristleback got nerfed at all levels. 3, 4, 5, which is a huge nerf. Hairball has a 2-second cooldown nerf as well. That's really nice, honestly, just seeing Bristleback get a little slap. Insatiable Hunger, which gives her and her Spiderlings a vampiric attack. The radius on her hitting her Spiderlings went up by 400, making it much more likely that they actually get the buff. Centaur, 1 base strength, 0.1 strength gain as well, which actually makes him faster, because remember, now he gets movement speed off strength. So he will start faster, and he'll get faster still, and he's tankier. Nice. And they buffed the talent, which I like this one. More stun. Cool. Chaos Dance crit. The max damage was increased by 10% at all levels. Okay, that actually is really nice for him. He really needs that. He's not really played as much 1 base int for Darkseer. Basically, they just made like 1 change per hero. That's minor, whatever. Terrorize, which is the fear. The radius increased by 50 at all levels, so it's much bigger, way easier to hit the whole team, which is a huge buff to Dark Willow, by the way. Dawnbreaker lost 1 base damage, and she lost 0.2 seconds on her stun of Solar Guardian at all levels. That is probably needed. She was one of the most successfully played heroes last patch, so she definitely needs a nerf somewhere along the line, for sure. They did another 666 joke on Doom, so his bonus HP regen, instead of being 7, 8, 9, 10, is just 6.66. That's still a nerf, by the way. P.S. That's still a huge nerf on his bonus HP regen on Scorched Earth, but also it's another joke on, 666 But they might as well. It's a nerf, but it's funny. When you're actually Satan. Frost Arrow's bonus damage went up at all levels. 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. And Gush is cheaper. Wow, just what we needed is more drought. Our Spirit got 1 strength. Elder Titan. Echo Stop damage increased by 5, 10, 15, 20, which is gross. And Aghanim Shard with all cast no longer swaps position if Elder Titan's rooted, which is a nerf. It's just fixing some stuff that should never have worked that way. Ember lost 1 strength. He's squishier. Hey, easier to gank. Whatever. Some nerfs and talents for Faceless. Afterburner boosts his passive. The duration increased by 5 seconds, so he keeps the movement speed longer. Minor. Hoodwink got 3 base damage, but then lost 3 base agility. That is way worse, by the way. You'd much rather the agility, because that means she loses 3 attack speed and a half an armor. And nothing else was gained. Like, no other benefits. Same thing, if you're rooted, you don't get the knockback. Roots are stronger now, they're just doing that. Huskar got base health regen decreased by 0.25. Nice! Let's go! Less regen on Huskar. It actually costs him something? That's crazy. I know he'll still regen a bunch, like I am aware of that, but any reduction on his regen puts him in a dangerous spot. Invoker lost 5 movement speed, needed. Let's see. HP and mana transfer decreased at all levels by 5. So 5% less HP and mana given from Io. Jakiro got 0.1 strength, that's gross. Damage per second on Blade Fury went up by 5 at all levels. Well, that's actually might have been needed. It felt really weak recently, so I've been playing him. That's cool. Coddle's 5 slower too. Everybody's getting move speed nerfs. Admiral's Rum, which is Kuka's passive, the cooldown decreased from 60.5 -5 to 50.5 -5. So it just took 10 seconds off the cooldown. So when he can actually have it activated where when he would go down to the threshold and he would get the rum buff, it happens more often. Because instead of, 60 at first level, it's 50. Sorry, yeah, 50. And then it keeps going down from there. It'll end up being like 20.5 seconds or something at the end. I forget. They just changed the order, whatever. Lich drains more mana per second on Sinister by 5%. Means Lich will have an easier time keeping mana, but also taking it away from enemies. That's cool. Lena got a 0, 5, 10, 15 damage increase in Life Strike away. That's minor. Damage on the ult, though, 20, 15, 10 is not bad. That's kind of helpful. It's pure. It's magic, but still. Lone Druid, here we go. Bear costs more, whatever. Oh, okay. Spirit Link now has a creep penalty of 40%. That's a huge nerf. Savage Roar, the Shard. Buff duration was decreased by 1. And the bonus movement speed was decreased by 5%. Okay, that's cool. Nice. The Spirit Bear himself, the gold experience bounty was increased. So it's... Okay. It starts less by 10, but every single level it gains 2. So that means by level 5, it's already balanced out at the same gold and experience. But every level after level 5, the Spirit Bear will now give more gold and experience, which is cool. The nerf for pushing talent, too. We're into the L's already. We're only 14 minutes in. We're getting this. Lycan's health regen increased by 1 at all levels. They did that before, actually. That's not the first time. Magnus. Shockwave slow was increased by 0.15. Early levels. Early levels were increased, so it slows earlier. Whatever. Marcy. Bodyguard's cast rage went up by 100. It's easier to cast Bodyguard in Furry. Oh, nice. Mars got a buff on Dauntless. He got a nerf on Dauntless before, now he got a buff again. 10% more HP regen when there's extra enemy heroes around. Cool. Arrow does more damage when it hits the Mars thing. Or Marcy. Marcy is what I thought you meant. Sacred Arrow does more damage. It's 0, 10, 20, 30. So it's more damage if you get hit with an arrow. Yeah, Marcy. Which is whatever. Monkey King got a 1 agility nerf. Whatever. And Primal Spring slows less, which is needed. That's whatever. Muerta lost 5 attack speed. But her Supernatural, which is when an enemy dies, she gains a stack of Spell Amp. And she loses it, so she actually is a losing stack mechanic. Maximum stack count increased from 1 per hero level to 5 plus 1 per hero level, meaning that she actually has the ability to have stacks ahead of herself. That way she's not capped at stacks really early, so it's harder for her to lose stacks. Like, it's harder for her to cap stacks. Which is whatever, because there should be no stacking and loss mechanics. Stack and lose mechanics are dumb. They buffed Treants, which Ninja Prophet was literally unplayable, so I understand. They buffed the Treants damage slightly. That's everything else is just numbers on the talents. It's whatever. They decreased Ogre's strength gain by 0.2, making him squishier. Let's go, losing some strength. Repel's cooldown was decreased at later levels. Okay, almost not at all, but whatever. Hammer Purity does slightly more damage. It's 5. That's really minor. They really didn't touch him. They just pretended they touched him, so that it felt like they did.
They only buffed Nature's Prophet, the hero damage from the trance. So they don't even do more damage to like towers or creeps.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't realize they had separate damage.
Only to heroes.
That's really weird. I didn't know they did that. Oh, they do bonus damage to heroes. So the extra damage they do when a hero went up. Oh yeah, they're gonna push better. That's shit. OD. Objurgation's mana cost decreased, making it more likely he actually has more mana. Sanity's radius was increased at all early levels, making it easier to hit early sanities. That's cool. Alright. Base health regen decreased by 1 on Pango. Awful. Mana cost on Swashbuckle went up. Roll-up's mana cost went up. And they nerfed one of his talents. I mean, Pango was already feeling unplayable. He is definitely unplayable now. Extra 1 base agility on PA. Nice. They nerfed his shard's run distance, apparently, on PL. That's it. They nerfed Phoenix's Dying Light by 0.5%, so it's less AoE damage. They nerfed the heal on Sunray as well, at all levels. And they nerfed the damage on Supernova. Ow, man. All of these things mattered when I played Phoenix recently, and they just slapped them down. Trample is harder to hit. It's a smaller AoE, which is dramatic, by the way. 30 is a lot. When you think about 30, like, it matters. They took away Dreamcoil Pierce's debuff immunity as a whole. That's really bad, actually. That's a really big nerf to Flex Talents. Quap lost 2 base agility. Worse cooldown on Shadow Strike. And a smaller AoE on the Ags. That's a pretty big nerf. Pretty big nerf to Quap, honestly. Oh yeah, Razor has a better Static Link talent. Great. You get out of here.
This is how nerf to Quap. Like, Shadow Strike early is better, though. Because it's going from 13 to 11, so in lane, where Shadow Strike does the best.
I guess that's true. However, don't forget that it doesn't stack with itself. It just refreshes the duration. So it's actually not so helpful in lane, because remember, it's a 16-second cool duration. So, like, it's cool if you're in a dual lane. In a single lane, you don't level it anyway. It's a mistake to level Shadow Strike in mid. You should be doing Scream. Almost every lane. Almost every lane. Against a melee hero, maybe not. But against most heroes, you should be going Scream instead. Rubik lost some agility gain. Nice. Sand King lost attack speed. His slow doesn't last as long on Stinger. Epicenter's base radius is lower. Nice nerfs. Almost done. We're on the S's. Don't care. Shadow Fiend has less armor reduction at early levels, but more late. Slightly. It's whatever. Skyrat's ult, the cooldown went down by 5 seconds. Awesome. I love that. I would like to get hit with more Mystic Flares. Slithering Crush now has to scale back to its duration. Its cooldown, I mean. So it's worse at most levels. Snapfire got a base damage increase of 2, which is great when she's critting you for like 500 damage a hit, and it's just like, actually more, it's like 800. So I love that it's more damage. That's sick. Spectre gained 3 base agility. Ooh. Early dispersion buff, but a late dispersion nerf. That's sad. But that base agility, that was really nice. Galvanized now gains a charge every 3 levels. In Furry, you'll actually get charges and then lose them.
Gains 1 charge every 3 levels.
Yeah.
What?
Techies, base mana regen decreased by 0.5, harder for him to cast. Lost 0.3 intelligence gain as well. Mads, this is when Techie gains a percentage of their mana pool as bonus mana regeneration. It's passive. Mana pool's regen rescaled to be more at the start, but less scaling, which still means less mana regen. So they just hit Techies all across the board, and Taser has a smaller radius. Hit Techies across the board. TA got the first speed up we see. 5 base movement speed up. Tide lost 0.5 mana regen. Oh my god. That might actually make Tide almost unplayable because he's already dying from mana. And you really need the phase boots. That's so hard. Timber got base damage increase of 2, and he's never going to attack, so it literally means nothing. His base int went up by 1. That matters. And they rebuffed his bonus HP regen on radioactive armor by 0.1 again. Updated sound effects, by the way, on turrets. It's so funny. Base attack speed decreased by 5 on Tiny. That's rough. Toss bonus damage was increased, though. Like a big number, actually, with Grow. It's 0, 25, 50. Extra 50 damage really matters. Oh, they took away his Grow attack speed reduction. Like the trying to not have as much attack speed reduction. They took that away. That sucks for him.
He builds Echo Saber anyway.
That's not even a change there. It's whatever. Can't cast Drinking Buddies when rooted. That's the same change to root and all the same. Venge's self bonus aura from Vengeance Aura went up by 5, so she's even more of a carry than she wants to be. Poison Sting slows less. Snake's Bite does less damage early, but more late. A lot less early, though. It's a big deal. Viper's Nosedive has a longer cooldown of 5 seconds. That's dramatic. Splinter Blast is less slow. It's a slow duration, but it meant slow percentage. That's a typo. It's obviously a percentage. Witch Doctor always has his max radius on heal. It's kind of nice. So let's just really quickly, because I got a couple seconds, then we'll play some games of Dota for anybody who's waiting for Dota. So I think the Tormentor having more of the heal and stuff is really cool. Changing Vision around Roche is really cool. I think that the nerf on Disperser and Harpoon and Heart and Shiva's all needed. Oh, even Soul Ring needed as well. So I think most of these items were definitely like good things. The only real changes I like here is that a big Alchemist nerf, a big AA buff. I hate they buffed Arc Warden and I would like to die. I'm glad to see a Bat Rider and Beastmaster nerf. A Bristleback nerf. Centaur buff, I like that too. I'm sad that Dark Village Terrorize is huge. Kill me now, honestly.
FBI, open up!
A lot of stuff's going on over there. Everything else seems so minor, honestly, comparatively. Like, none of this
Yes, sir, the FBI is at my house. I might be delayed.
Oh, alright. I think everything else here is pretty small. Like, I was looking at them like, I'm glad to see nerfs at Lone Druid. That's cool. Yeah, everybody else is so minor. I don't really see anything here that's like, whoa. Oh, Pango nerf. Can't play him again anymore. Phoenix nerf. It's a big one, too, actually. He's still playable, probably, but just weak. Spectre change. Eh. And Zeki's nerf. I think that's the last big one. Yeah. I don't know. I'm glad. I think it's a good patch as a whole. I don't think anybody was changed so dramatically besides Pangolier. Besides Pangolier, I don't think anybody has become absolutely unplayable. I think everybody is still playable. I just think some of them are worse. I do, in fact, honestly believe that Pango is unplayable. I think he was already losing his win rate, and I think he has become even just more unplayable.
They keep nerfing him. There's got to be a reason for it.
I could check, but I'll check before I stop this broadcast what Dota Buff says, because maybe I'm missing something, but I'm pretty sure he stopped being played the last issue. Control F, Pangolier.
Yeah, he's unplayable. Like I'm unplayable in StarCraft because I keep losing.
Hey, you're not unplayable. I'll play you when you do.
I know you will. You can get that win streak up.
So Pango was considered as a whole slightly suboptimal but playable. I'm curious about the comparative if you look at break it down by the whole month. I mean, yeah, same thing. Slightly suboptimal. Still playable. So, granted, I might have overreacted saying unplayable before. Now unplayable because he already had a suboptimal. He was already suboptimal in his win rate, meaning below 50%. Now it's gonna drop. It's gonna drop like 2%. He's gonna be at 46 to 7, somewhere in there. And that is a incredibly weak hero because 53 is considered crazy. When you get a hero that has 53 as their win rate. It's like, holy crap, that is a strong hero. So, yeah, no, Pango is going to, I hypothesize, to be unplayable. Everybody else, I don't think their changes are going to be that dramatic. I don't think it's going to have that big of an impact. All right, appreciate you guys watching. See you all next time.